Have you ever thought that if life has no meaning, no purpose, then why are we living? Why wake up every morning, go to work, dream? If everything ends in the end, then all this struggle, these emotions, these relationships are useless? This is not a horror story. This is a thought, a philosophy called nihilism. Nihilism is a philosophy that says that life has no objective, meaning, value, or purpose. Whatever we believe, whether it is morals, religions, or social systems, everything is the result of human imagination. There is no universal or divine truth in reality. The universe is indifferent. There is no higher power or any final destination, only a deep emptiness. This idea originated with some radical thinkers of 19th century Russia and Europe. But the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche gave the most depth and shape to this concept. Nietzsche famously said that God is dead. He did not mean it literally, but symbolically. He was saying that modern society has lost its faith in religion and traditional moral values. And when a person gives up the old beliefs on which his life was structured, he is left with only a deep emptiness. This emptiness can also be dangerous. Because when there is no objective meaning, people either drown in despair or get lost in meaningless distraction. But for Nietzsche, nihilism was not an end but a new beginning. According to them, when old values fall, man has a rare opportunity to create his own meaning without any cosmic rulebook, without any divine permission. So nihilism is not just hopelessness. It is also a brutal kind of freedom. Where everything is meaningless, you have to decide what will be meaningful. Imagine a world where there are no roles, no standard of right and wrong, no ultimate reason for any action, no reward, no punishment, just existence. A meaningless, silent reality. Nihilism is the name of this thinking. A philosophy where everything loses its relevance. Truth is just a story created by man. Morality is an illusion designed by society for its convenience. And the concept of good is a psychological invention of the human mind. So what does a person do when nothing matters? Some people crumble under this realization. They see this emptiness as darkness and sink into depression, despair, and hopelessness. For them, nihilism becomes an emotional death, where life has no meaning. But some people see this emptiness as a freedom. When the world does not expect anything from you, when there is no compulsion to follow any rule, then you can ask yourself an important question. If everything is meaningless, then what should I make meaningful? Nihilism is freedom for those who have the courage to define their own meaning, who write their own rules, for whom the empty canvas is not a curse but an opportunity. Maybe that's why this philosophy is both scary and brutally honest. Nihilism is not just a thought experiment. It's an emotional storm. It may seem easy to understand the philosophy that life has no objective meaning, no higher purpose. Everything is ultimately meaningless. But when this idea goes beyond just thinking but penetrates deep into a person, it becomes a silent psychological war. Many people who face an existential crisis actually have this nihilistic thought quietly growing inside them. It starts with some simple innocent-looking questions. Like, who am I? Why am I? Does what I do have any meaning, and if I die tomorrow, will it make any difference? These questions seem absurd on the surface level. But gradually these questions start eating away at a person's self-worth. After a point of time, everything seems pointless to you. Career, relationships, emotions, even your own existence. At this stage, nihilism is no longer just a philosophy. It becomes a dark mirror in which you see yourself without makeup, without illusion, without purpose. That image can seem horrifying as well as liberating. But the irony is that when everything seems pointless, some people find a new kind of freedom in that pointlessness. When there is no given meaning, you make your own meaning. When there are no rules, you set rules for yourself. When there is no divine script, you write your own story. This is the paradox of nihilism. On the one hand, it shatters your reality. On the other hand, it allows you to feel truly alive for the first time. Because when life has no built-in meaning, every moment, every emotion, every decision is yours. Completely unapologetically yours. Nietzsche saw nihilism not just as an endpoint but also as a transition point. He divided this idea into two categories: Passive nihilism and active nihilism. Passive nihilism is the state of those who accept life as meaningless and then give up. They think that when nothing matters, there is no point in trying. This thinking gradually leads a person to hopelessness, emotional humility, and depression. Life starts to feel like a burden and every action becomes pointless. But active nihilism is just the opposite. It is a rebellious thought, a creative destruction. Active nihilism says, if the old values were fake, if there is no objective meaning, then now you have full freedom to create new meanings. This can be a terrifying thought because now you do not have God, society, or the system to blame. But this thought is also amusing because now you can become the author of your own existence. Active nihilism does not say give up everything. It says give up everything that was false. But now become who you really are. Create your own values. Write your own meaning. Define your own morality. It is said that one must have a chaos in oneself to become a dancing star. And active nihilism is the chaos from which a new light is born. In the end, I would just like to say that nihilism is a scary thought. But perhaps the most honest one too. In this world when everything is temporary, emotions, relationships, success, and maybe no final, truth or higher purpose exists. This realization may seem dark, but therein lies a deep freedom. If there is no building meaning, then you can create your own meaning. You can write the rules of your life on your own terms. So now the question is that when nothing in this world is naturally important, when nothing has a fixed meaning, then what will you choose that is important for you? If no one else is deciding what is the meaning of your life. So now this power is in your hands. You can decide for yourself which things are valuable for you, which relationships, which dreams, and what kind of life you want to live. So tell me, what do you want?